felt myself traveling like across great space and time. I felt this knowing that I'm now on this other planet. I thought maybe it's Vega, but I've never been here before. It's like the frequency of the air around me is even just so different. It's like my surroundings are like so much softer than on Earth. Like there's so much more light and frequency, like, and less density. There's more fluidity and less like, I don't know, the physical doesn't feel like the physical does in this place. Just noticing different colors starting to come in, like lots of pinks and even some like corals or burnt oranges. I think it's the like land that I'm on. And I'm just recognizing like other beings through their light bodies. It feels more like we interact and recognize and connect through the light body here. It's like I'm greeted by a frequency, by an energy. It feels really like loving. It feels really safe, and even though like physically it doesn't feel like there's all the things there, like it's more of like this open landscape, but it doesn't feel empty. It feels really like rich and abundant, like in energy, in like quality of being.
Very good. I want you to take a look at yourself and tell me what you look like.
I'm just seeing like it's still like a general human ish form, but it's like way less dense, like plus less physical matter. It's just this like almost more of a connection of like luminescent light particles, like softly making up the form versus being more like my human body.
So do you have 2 legs and 2 arms?
Yes, 2 legs, 2 arms. I think I'm still a woman, but it feels like the idea of gender is like not the same there either, like more fluid, more androgynous maybe, but it still feels like I'm in like I have feminine quality of energy.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Do you feel younger or older?
I don't feel old I don't feel old, but I also feel that like years and time is moves very differently here. So I think I think I'm older than like I think I am older in some ways here, like more ancient. But it just doesn't also feel like they they sense time and space in that same way, but more of an elder energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell me more about your body. What do your feet look like?
I'm mostly seeing like gold light,
Mm.
and I don't have like the same toes, like the same shape really. They're still like feet to walk on, but I don't know if there's like webbing or it's just like a different shape.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a different shape, and like my feet don't really touch the surface of the ground in the same way. It's like I that's not the first part of my energy field that connects with the ground. There's like other layers that connect me to. It's very like effortless
Mm.
to be in the body here.
Mm. Very good. And as you move up your body, just taking a look at your legs.
It's still that like I have the two legs and they don't seem so different than the human legs, but they're less dense, like they're more full of light.
Very good. Just moving up your torso. Is that the same?
Yeah, it still feels like still that general like human form, but a little less defined and
Mm.
more more like light again.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And I'm like sensing this like really bright light at the heart space area too.
Mm.
I don't even think it's like it's not even like fully covered or shielded in a way. Like it's just really, really bright and open.
What color is the light?
It's really like this pure white light.
Mm. Beautiful. And as you move up and you have a magic mirror in your hand, and I want you to take a look at your face. Tell me what your face looks like.
I'm still seeing like a head, but the features are like less defined and more like a little more taunt, maybe, like a little bit like wider face. The eyes are a little bigger and more like almond shaped. And I'm actually sensing like a little bit of like a blue quality. There's still that like luminescent light and gold, but I'm also seeing some blue tone.
Mm. To the eyes.
To the skin.
Oh, the skin. Okay. Do the eyes have a color?
Like this soft lilac color.
Mm.
It's like multicolored, really, but like the lilac. And then there's like prismatic colors
Mm.
deeper within.
Beautiful. Do you have ears?
There are, yes. Yes, I have ears, but they're more like these, like it seems like flatter like holes, like not all the same extensions. Yeah, it's like there is this like ear function, but I'm not sure it functions entirely the same way.
Mm. Very good. And how about a mouth?
Yes, the mouth feels like most similar actually to my human form.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Very good. And a nose?
Yes. Yes, there's like somewhat of a nose, but like I don't think that that is kind of like the dominant sense or feature.
Mm.
Yeah. It feels like more like the ears and the mouth are really important.
Mm. Tell me more about that.
It's it's like about the use of like tone and frequency and like receiving the tone and the frequency. Um, like when I can speak, there's like light that moves through the voice. Like there's
Mm.
light frequencies that move on like the air. It's like a musical quality. Like when you speak, like there, like when I speak. And the way that like the ears are such a like almost more open to like receive more quality, like more amount of these frequencies because the tone, like the tone and like what is like the codes like carried on the voice, on the sounds, like holds all these like healing particles and ways of communication. Like it's very multidimensional. Like it's not just communication.
Mm. So when you speak, do you feel like it's a language or is it like just sound frequencies?
It feels like both. It feels like there is a language, and also there's like a language within a language of sound. And even the language carries all of these energies and frequencies in it. And then there's ways to, there's also waves of sound. There's like waves of sound, which can be more focused or harmonized or like manipulated, but not in a bad way, like coded,
Mm.
like coded for healing or coded for these like certain things.
Mm. Very good. So then I'm wondering how you use that focused and coded sound for healing. How does that work?
Feels like it feels like we can use that with each other for healing, to receive healing, and for activations.
Mm.
It's like it has this purifying, like harmonizing quality. So it's not that it like changes the being that you're helping, but it like brings their frequencies into like greater harmony and like this like purification.
Mm. So it kind of like purifies the discordant energies.
Yes, yes. And strengthens their like inherent naturally harmonic state if it's gotten out of alignment, out of harmony.
Mm. Very good. And how would one's energy get out of harmony here in this place?
It does feel like there have been outside forces on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel like it does feel like we've experienced like foreign energies coming in that are not in alignment with the way of life here,
Mm-hmm.
like that aren't in alignment with light,
Mm-hmm.
with life, like destructive energies.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like, yeah, like these energies can like really get into your DNA, like your cellular level, like and alter the light, like alter your codes and your frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels like the way that this was originally designed and developed was a way to share love, like, and a way to share communication and a way to share joy. Like it was like this innate way of communicating and being that was not necessarily even even used or needed for purification. But then it feels like as the planet aged and as there started being like interactions and intrusions from other spaces and places, we had to we had we started using this to like anchor in and override the frequencies or energies of disharmony, of darkness, of discord. But it's just, I don't know, it feels important that like the original energies of this were, they were beauty, and they were just to be enjoyed.
Very good. And tell me more about the heart space. You said the heart is very open and bright.
Yeah, it feels like in a way like the heart center is like the fuel of the body, like the energy center fuel or something, like the light body, and really most of like the sounds, the frequencies, like everything moves from the heart space.
Mm.
It even feels like it can be this place of communication too, like without words, that there's just this heart to heart connection that can be made on this planet through that space.
Very good. I'm wondering how the hearts of the beings there have been affected by these destructive energies.
It feels like in some ways like the original innocence has been lost. Like there's some younger beings there that don't remember like the original light, the original innocence of like the way of being, and what's like the way of just being in love and being of the heart. And there's this feeling of like being forced to use these natural ways of being, of light, of healing, of sound for battle. Like it just feels like that's not in alignment with like the natural intention. And it's like respectful, there's like respect and reverence that it can be used in these ways, but like it just feels very important to like remember that the original the original way of being was about creation and harmony. It was about beauty and creating beauty just for beauty, not creating beauty to override the darkness. Like there's those two pieces, and I feel like there's this, it feels like it's been hard for the people there to like integrate those two ways. But it's been necessary because of the outside energies and forces. And then there's also this like deep remembering of the times and ways of being that didn't require that. It's been like effortful, and yeah, it's just like these keepers of remembering that that's not the only way to use the power. That's not the only way to use the heart. It's not the only way to use those frequencies.
Very good. So tell me a little bit more about what life was like before these destructive energies did come in. What was the original innocence of this civilization?
It feels like this space, this world was in deep harmony with life,
Mm.
with creation, with beauty. There's like so much joy, so much like music making, and I see different like creations of different ways, like very focused with like light
Mm.
and sound. And there was just like this deep trust and this, it was like this like womb like space almost of like just like great beauty and great safety.
Mm. Very good. Um, and what is the community like? Do you have families, or like how does day to day life function here?
It feels like it was a community, and there were members in your community that you were, I don't know if family is the right word, but there's like constellations within the community, um, like constellations of more interrelatedness, more interbeing,
Mm.
um, like closer relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like about the whole, like less about like the individual and more about like the whole. Like there was this community dynamic. And there are like more childlike beings and more elder like beings. And there's like storytelling in a way, and trainings and creations that were passed down through lineages. It's really like, yeah, it was more of this being quality than like a doing quality. This like open, fluid, like beingness.
Mm. Very good. I want you to breathe that into your being. Really activate those cells within Lindsay's body to remember this beingness.
Just kind of feeling like this deep sadness about like when I look at like the way that the light was, mm, almost like the way the light was like forced to engage
Mm.
with the energies of destruction and disharmony. It's like it felt necessary to, it felt necessary, but there's also this like deep sadness of remembering when the light was just the light, and the light was not something that had to be like brought up to battle or like used against. And it felt like those energies came in because of the light.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the light and the way of life is what like attracted those energies of disharmony.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the light, those frequencies, that harmony was able to mm, like disperse those energies, there's just this like grief and sadness in having to do that.
Mm. Yeah. Can you tell me more about that? And why these destructive energies came into the planet?
I'm seeing that the light there was about the light. It wasn't about how the light could be used or manipulated, but there were energies and like foreign beings that only could see the light for how it could be used or how they could have power over, like through the light. And and so it was like this extraction, like this attempt to extract the light so that they could then use and manipulate the light.
Mm. Were they successful in that?
No, they weren't successful. Like, it feels like maybe there might have been a few beings that were like taken, and like taken for their light, but it doesn't feel like they were able to really ever access like the power of this type of light, because what they could never innately understand is that this light has to emanate purely from creation, from love, from harmony. It cannot, it doesn't hold the power it has when it's been distorted,
Mm.
but it didn't stop them from trying to distort it.
Mm.
But they could never really obtain that power through distortion.
Mm-hmm. Do you get a sense of who these beings were?
I don't know, like draconian just came up into my mind, but I don't really know. Like I don't think, like, it felt like for us, like these foreign energies that we didn't have a prior relationship to. It wasn't like beings or a planet that we interacted with or we knew.
Mm. Okay. Very good. And what else is coming up for you? What else are you feeling?
I do see that aspect of the planet, like after experiencing that, like it did feel like a little bit of this like dimming of the light, like a dimming of the full frequency and like magnitude and magic of the way that the light was used and shared,
Mm.
because there's like a little bit of that fear attached
Mm.
to it.
Is it like fear in the collective, within the collective?
Yeah, fear like in the planet itself and
Mm.
in the collective of all the beings there.
Mm.
It just is like this guardedness
Mm.
that wasn't there before.
And how is that affecting the community now? How is the way of life different?
It just feels a little more guarded, like a little less free.
Mm.
Um, it's almost like there's this like filter that's been placed for protection,
Mm-hmm.
but then the filter is also not necessarily allowing the light and light waves to move in their full power either. Like it's like protective and containing.
Mm.
Yeah.
And okay. And how is this showing up in Lindsay's life now?
It feels like I'm like holding that containment and constriction in my like physical body, like my physical human body.
Mm.
It feels like I've still been keeping this like shield around my heart, and I've still been like dimming dimming my light and my healing, because there's this fear that it will be like it will be a, it will attract these darker energies, and it could be manipulated.
Mm. Okay, very good. So I want you to now close out this scene. Just letting it drift away. And we're going to go to the last day in that lifetime. Just drifting and floating to the last day of that lifetime. 3, 2, and 1. Be there now. Tell me what you notice.
It's like it's so different. It's just shifted. It's like that constrictive energy has started to clear, and there's not so much more containment of the light. It's like the culture of the beings there have come back into harmony and come back into their original ways of creation. And it just feels like this more freedom to be light. And I see like the beings and their stronger light bodies. And there's a lot more of this like musical and healing quality. And it's like more expansive heart spaces. It's, yeah, it's in the future, but it's like they've been able to like bring back that original like purity and harmony to their lives,
Mm,
to that space.
beautiful. And how does that make you feel?
It just helps to like release some of the fear and the constriction,
Mm,
to like remember that that light, that purity, that way of being like can be cultivated. It can flourish, and it doesn't have like the light doesn't have to draw in something bad. Like there was almost this like strengthening of the light, and it's like going through that has almost like fortified the light, and now it's like there's not that need for all the protections and all the armor, because there's like such a strength and like purity. There's such a strength and purity that that light can't be touched by anything that's not aligned with the highest. It just can't.
Mm. Beautiful. So, what is the lesson here?
I think it's to remind me, I know it's to remind me that sharing my light and tapping into the purity and harmony of the light and the frequency, it does lead to greater harmony. It does lead to greater light. And it also feels like this correlation of like here on earth, the things are shifting too, like the energies are shifting too, where there's like room to grow that light. There's room to grow my light. And it doesn't have to, it doesn't, it won't lead to more destruction. It'll like it'll feed the streams of life, of creation.
Beautiful.
I'm just seeing like more life on the planet too. Like I could feel the beauty of life in my where I landed originally, but it was a little, there wasn't as much flourishing, and now I'm just seeing the potential for so much more.
Mm. Beautiful. What else are you noticing?
I'm noticing like more life on the planet, like more life too that's not um like not the beings, um like there's other life, like there's like these like cosmic plants and trees, and there's also like these other like other spirit beings that are like spirit beings of light and like support that are like living together too. It's not so isolated.
Mm.
And I didn't realize that that first space felt a little isolated, but now I'm seeing like all the support and connectedness once we moved into greater harmony with our light and our healing. And it attracted like more benevolent beings and support and life.
Mm. Beautiful. So I want you to go ahead and take your last breath from that lifetime. Tell me what happens as you leave the body.
I see my light like transitioning back to source, and just like having this knowing that the like lessons, like the experiences there will be shared.
Mm.
will be like necessary medicine.
Mm. And how will that help others?
I just see it being this like beacon of guiding light
Mm.
when others are like having a hard time seeing the light, like not being scared to shine the light and be that beacon to call more lights together. And just naturally, by calling in those lights together, it drives out.
Mm.
It drives out what's not of the light.
So, what was the purpose for this lifetime? What did you want to learn?
It was important for me to experience that full spectrum, like having that knowledge of the original ways,
Mm.
the original light, and experiencing those energies of destruction and seeing like the that potential in their destruction, and just like that awareness and how they impacted light and healing and frequency and community, but then also like being on that full arc of like seeing the restoration of the original ways, like the original purity, the original harmony, and like seeing that it's possible. And also, like, I feel like that life just, it gave me a lot of strength. Like, it gave me a lot of strength to stand in my light and stand in my knowing, even and especially in the midst of times of seeming destruction.
Mm. Beautiful. So, it feels very parallel to Lindsay's life now on Earth and what's happening.
It does. yeah, I
So,
just,
go ahead.
yeah, I just felt really called to like say my gratitude to that lifetime and the lessons and the strength and the wisdom, and just invoking like a greater connection, a greater connection of those wisdom, of that strength, of those lessons, like in my earthly body now.
Mm. Beautiful. Hmm. So, is there any of this fear or constriction left in your body from this lifetime?
I feel like maybe like 80% of it cleared, but there might be some like remnants still.
Mm-hmm. Where do you feel this in your body?
I'm feeling it like as like a heaviness in my legs and pelvis area.
Mm.
There's almost this like doubt that still creeps in, you know, this like doubt that the transformation, like the rebirth, like the returning is possible
Mm.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So the feeling is more of a doubt in the possibility.
Yeah, this doubt sometimes that like this doubt that like what if the darkness overpowered again, you know?
Mm.
Um this like this doubt sometimes that like my light can truly drive out what it needs to drive out.
Mm-hmm. And if you had to give this doubt a color, what color would it be?
It's kind of this like dark gray, like sludgy color and consistency.
Mm. Does it have a temperature?
It's kind of cold and like sticky.
Are there any memories associated with this doubt?
It feels it feels almost like this like leftover like stickiness from like past energies and entities from like my earthly life that have tried to like dim me or like pull me down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to just imagine scooping out all of this dark gray sludge with your hands and holding it in your hands. Just getting it all out, scooping it all out. Good. Does it still look the same now that you're holding it in your hands?
I found myself like putting this like golden bubble around it, and it's kind of like disintegrating. Like it's more like turning to like an ash quality.
Okay, good.
It's like taking up much less space too, like as it just kind of like loses form.
Mm-hmm. How does it look now?
It's like it's literally like disintegrating. Like it's just like kind of like burning up and
Mm.
disappearing.
Oh, good. Very good. Let me know when that's complete.
Yes, complete.
Very good. And what kind of light would you like to put in place of this doubt, where this doubt came out of?
I'd like to infuse like my own higher self light, like the quality of my highest self into that space.
Mm.
It's like a cosmic, like a white cosmic, like sparkly light.
Okay, very good. So we're going to infuse that back into the space in 3, 2, 1. Whoosh. That energy of your highest self light is infusing now into your body, taking up all that space and that doubt once resided.
And I'm feeling a calling to just do like a similar light clearing on the rest of my body.
Mm.
Like it's not as dense as it was there, but it feels like I want to scoop up just like any remnants that like travel to other spaces of my body and do the same thing.
Sure, go ahead and do that. Just let me know when you're complete.
Complete.
Very good. Are you ready to infuse this highest self light back in?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So in three, two, and one. Whoosh. This beautiful white, sparkly highest self light is infusing now into your body, coming down through your crown, all the way down. Trillions and trillions of cells are lighting up with this highest self white, sparkly light, feeling your light and your power coming all the way down through your torso into your pelvis and legs, all the way down to the tippy tops of your toes. And when it gets down to your toes, it comes all the way back up again, all the way up to the top of the crown. How does that feel?
Good. It feels, yeah, like whole and complete.
Good. And I just want you to imagine the picture of those past energies and entities just on a screen in front of you. Put a frame around it, and we're going to start shrinking it down. Just shrinking all of those memories down, 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 until they disappear altogether.
They're gone.
Very good. So while we're here in the body, I just want you to start scanning your body from the top of the crown all the way down to your toes. Just noticing any feelings, any tension, any dark places, anything that doesn't belong in the body or needs healing.
Just a little bit of tension in like the like back of my heart, like shoulder space.
Mm-hmm.
Just feels like there's a little bit to release there.
What is it that's being stored here?
like part of like the armor of protection.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like?
It's like these like panels that like it hid the full like aspects of my being and like my capacity to like fly and like have wings and just like be this more like light body aspect. It's like I think it like was constriction and armor to keep in like other aspects of me
Mm.
that didn't feel like safe to share in the world.
Mm. And how would you like to go about removing this armor?
It feels like maybe like the angels come in and they remove it.
Mm.
It's like they have the right tools to remove it.
Very good. Are there any specific angels you would like to call?
Archangel Ariel
Mm. Beautiful. So just
and
calling. Go ahead.
and Archangel Michael.
Beautiful. So just calling in Archangel Michael and Archangel Ariel to assist Lindsay in removing this armor of protection that she's placed around her heart. Keeping herself safe. And just let me know when you notice their energies there.
They're there.
Very good.
It's been removed.
Beautiful. Thank you, Archangel Michael and Ariel. I'm wondering if they have a message for you about sharing your light. What do they say?
They came in specifically to remind me of that importance of like the balancing of the masculine and feminine energies.
Mm.
Um, it feels like this important part of the light in the work I share.
Mm.
And there's also this like balancing of like the earthly and more heavenly energies too. Like, yeah, a lot of like balancing of the opposites.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Okay, how does that feel now in the back of your heart?
It feels clear.
Very good. So just continuing to scan down your body, see if you notice anything else.
It does feel like there's a constriction in front of my throat area,
Mm-hmm.
like not in my throat, but it's almost like attached on the front, like some sort of foreign attachment.
So it feels like an entity, possibly, or an energy. What is it exactly?
It almost feels like this. It doesn't feel like that energy or entity is in my field, but it feels like this. It almost feels like this cord or like siphon, like it's been like siphoning,
Mm.
like the siphoning the energy,
Mm.
like so that I can't focus it.
Mm. Siphoning specifically the throat energy.
Yeah, like my expression energy,
Mm.
and some of like the light code energies um, from Vega.
Mm. Okay. And how do we release this cord here?
I'm feeling like Wild Rose wants to come in, and the Violet Ray.
Beautiful.
And Wild Rose just gently like encapsulates the cord, the siphon, and removes those connections to my being, to my body, to my energy. And the Violet Ray encapsulates that cord, that foreign energy, and connects it back to central source, fully dissolving completely through all space-time continuum, that connection of that energy to mine. Wild Rose is just doing a little bit of like healing in that area to help me anchor back in my energy there.
Very good.
Yeah, it's clear.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so just continuing to scan, noticing any tension, any dark places, any foreign energies, anything at all that needs healing.
There's this like, there's still this like constriction around like my hip and pelvis area. Um, it kind of feels like a protective, like an outdated protective shield from like past traumas.
Mm.
But it's also like been like constraining my creative energies.
Mm-hmm. And what does this shield look like?
It's almost this like constrictive belt area, like keeping the energies in that space small,
Mm-hmm.
and not really like allowing creative flow and like the flow of life.
Mm. Very good. And how would you like to remove this belt?
It feels like my higher self wants to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like she comes in and she has this key
Mm.
where in some ways I felt this was protective, but I no longer need it.
Mm-hmm.
And just like unlocking it and letting it release.
Very good. How does that feel?
It feels lighter, like more freeing.
Mm. Just take a deep breath and expand into that area. Notice the difference.
Yeah, it just feels like my whole sacral region's more like accessible now and like vibrant and flowing.
Mm. Perfect. Okay. Any other areas of the body where you notice any tension, any constriction?
No, it feels good.
Good. Very good. Okay. I'm just going to ask the higher self if there are any other lifetimes that are contributing to Lindsay's fear of her light, power, or voice.
I'm getting yes.
Do we need to explore these lifetimes or can they be cleared?
I feel they're ready to be cleared.
Okay, very good. So just asking the higher self to please clear the memory of these past lifetimes. Just clearing the cellular memory all the way down to the DNA. Would you like to ask for assistance, or is the higher self okay doing it?
I think I do want assistance. It's feeling like maybe Mother Mary.
Okay, beautiful. So requesting Mother Mary come to support Lindsay in clearing the cellular memory of these past lifetimes, please. We thank you. And just let me know when you feel her energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like the clearing's complete and it's just going to be like this like slower integration process over the next few days and week.
Okay, very good. Very good. And is there anything from this lifetime, Lindsay's earthly life, that is contributing to this fear?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm just getting again like recalled to like the energies and fears when I was younger of like these outside energies trying to come into my space, harm or scare me.
And what does the higher self have to say about this?
Even though I experienced that fear, those energies, I've always been so protected and guarded. I just needed to strengthen that, to know that, and also it's like I've gone through some initiations that make those energies no longer able to touch me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't come into my space and manipulate me like that anymore.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And also, adult Lindsay has the tools and the strength to deal with anything that would come her way. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. The tools, the strength, and also like the community now.
Mm. Very good. So is this fear being held anywhere in the body?
I feel it kind of all along the front of my body. It's almost like this efforting to like keep it at bay or something. Like to keep those energies that I was fearful of at bay. But it's also become this like film that's like keeping out like love and positive energies too now.
Mm.
Like I don't need that anymore because of the other like protections and support I have.
Mm. Very good. And what does this look like?
It's kind of like this like sticky mesh, like spider webbish type like web across the front from my like just below my toes all the way up past the crown of my head. It's like it distorts the energies, like so it can like confuse the energies, but also or like catch the energies, but it feels like I have more like nuanced and advanced ways now that I can release that, because it was also like keeping out and sticking, like positive energies were also sticking there too,
Mm-hmm.
so I couldn't fully receive.
Mm-hmm. Is this part of the reason why Lindsay hasn't been able to fully receive?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we can remove this now?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how would you like to go about that?
I see the violet ray coming in and just encircling the web, igniting the violet flame, and just transmuting all of those old, outdated fibers and protective weavings, just transmuting it and letting it release down around me through my grounding cord to the center of the earth.
Mm, beautiful. Is there any healing that's needed in that space?
Yes. Yeah, I'm feeling like wanting to call in like divine golden light to that space, just to like return to and anchor in more frequencies of love and receiving.
Mm, beautiful. Go ahead and do that.
Complete.
Very good. Um, so we're going to go into the questions now. Um, as a higher self, you showed us this lifetime Lindsay had on this planet where these destructive energies came in. What was the purpose of her seeing that lifetime?
To remind her that she's like experienced this before,
Mm.
and that she's helped support the anchoring in of the light and the rebirth. And she's committed to doing that here on planet Earth as well.
Mm. Will seeing this lifetime today help her to step more fully into her purpose?
Yes. many gifts, qualities of her being, her energy are closely related to the frequencies, the light, the healing that she knew on that planet.
Mm-hmm. She wants to know what healing arts or modalities are most aligned with that expression.
Healing modalities that access the quantum field, that alter the frequencies and light so that more can be seen, more can be heard, more can be felt, more can be integrated and activated. There's also an element of using the voice, using sound, using music, even the voice as music, to support anchoring in, activating, harmonizing these energies and others.
Beautiful. Would beyond quantum healing be a good modality for her to practice?
Yes, I feel an emphatic yes.
Awesome. Okay. So, I mean, I guess this question is answered about the greater clarity and focus around what her soul medicine actually is and how to live more aligned with it and share it.
Yes. Just getting something. Her soul medicine is more about the way that she lives in the world, the way she shares and anchors her light. There are many ways that she could choose to share and anchor her light. It's more of the quality of harmony and beauty and being that she infuses into this dimension and into the lives that she's with. But there's also this aspect of growth that she desires, this ability to move between the worlds. And that is why she's recommended to work with modalities that access the quantum space, that access the other beings and frequencies and lights of consciousness.
Very good, thank you. And how can she access more confidence in sharing her gifts?
She needs to start sharing them in order to gain her confidence. She has been waiting for a while to feel more confident to share, but she's more than ready. And we feel that as she starts sharing more sessions, more healing, then she'll start gaining that confidence.
So just do it.
Just do it. Now is the time.
Awesome, thank you. What she wants to know, how can she best tend to and nurture and grow her soul medicine?
It's very important, the environment and the community that she surrounds herself with. Environments and communities that their own light, their own frequencies, their own heart medicine will amplify and weave with her soul medicine in a way that grows it.
Mm.
And yeah, its environment and the people and communities that she surrounds herself with.
Mm. Very good, thank you. She wants to know how she can feel more safe and worthy and empowered.
Deepen her connection to her guides, to her guardians, to the celestial stream that was shared today. The more that she can sense and feel their guidance, their support around her, the more confident she will feel, the more empowered she will feel. Because as she feels and receives their connection, that connection, it also reminds and activates those pieces within her.
Mm. Beautiful, thank you. And how can she feel more confident getting paid for her work?
It's all about doing the sharing in a way that feels aligned for her. She hasn't felt confident in getting paid for her work because she has been staying a little bit on the surface level. She wants to deep dive. She wants to support others in deep diving. And we feel as she accesses more of her medicine, as she accesses those quantum realms of healing, she will start building her self-worth.
Mm.
She will start feeling deeply the worth in her work,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore feel the worth in receiving and being paid for her work.
Mm. Yes, that makes sense. Okay, very good. She wants to know how she can support her physical body as she deepens and expands into her sacred work.
It's very important in this lifetime to always honor and integrate the physical body. There's so many light codes and wisdom held there. Befriend the body, give the body rest when it needs rest, food when it needs food, fun and play and connection. Listen to the wisdom of the body. By listening to the wisdom of the body supports the growth and sharing of the soul medicine in all ways. It's really about listening to the body and not questioning the body or making the body be second. It's about being in relationship, in equal footing relationship with the body.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you. Mm. She wants to know, is there a particular guide, guardian, or sacred stream that would be most supportive to anchoring in her soul medicine at this time?
Soul medicine is very, very closely related to this golden stream, to Lyra, to her lifetime there. And at this time, it's very important to open to receive those streams and Also, receiving the support of Mother Mary at this time will be very important to keeping the earthly body, the earthly forms supported as she opens more to the starry constellations and streams. So I see them working together like Mother Mary and earthly energies with the more starry Lyra constellation.
So that will help keep her balanced.
Yes, it'll keep the bridge open and keep balance and keep healing in the body.
Very good. She's been told that water divination is aligned for her, but she's not exactly sure how to go about that or how to practice that. Do you have any information for her about water divination?
Water divination is an ancient practice. It's the ability to move and manipulate water with light. There's codes in the water. There's codes of consciousness in the water. And when combined with light, combined with the frequency of sound as light, as color, there's many messages held there. I see it being a very complex, in some ways, ancient practice that will evolve over time. And I see the relationship beginning by sitting with the water, making offerings to the water, touching the water, noticing the reflections, noticing the colors, noticing the depths of the water. It's something that will come into activation. At this time, she needs to just connect with the water and notice the subtleties, the nuances, the vibration, the colors.
Very good. Are there any other forms of divination that she is aligned with at this time?
There is a way of divining through sound, a way of carrying otherworldly, celestial, light code frequencies through sound, through the voice. And I do see that being a divination that is aligned with her if she so chooses. It feels important to strengthen her voice, her expression at this point in time. It feels important to strengthen that first, but there are light codes, frequencies, and sounds that are able to move through the voice.
Mm-hmm. And how does she find more confidence in using her voice and sharing?
She needs to tune out right now the voices and energies of many around her. She needs to sit in her own streams of creation and not look to other streams to create or emulate or try to give voice to those other streams. Sometimes those other streams can interfere with the purity of the stream that she's tending. So there's this need to filter, not in a protective way, not that there's manipulative in the sense of she needs to be fearful energies coming in, but there's this purifying quality by tuning into your frequency and spending more time there than you are tuning to the outside frequencies that will help her know and gain confidence in what is hers to share.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you for that. Is there anything that we didn't ask today that would be important for Lindsay to know?
Just the message that's coming through that she has taken these steps, she has taken many leaps of faith that we have asked of her, and she is being supported because of them. There's so much being created right now. There is so much being anchored in that's for her highest. She's walking the right path. She's just learning to just create a little bit more fully on her path with confidence, with ease, with joy. It doesn't have to all be effortful. It can be joyous. It can be easy. It can flow. It's an important time right now to trust in the flow of creation, to trust in the support of spirit, to trust in herself for all that is being drawn into her sphere right now, trusting that she has all of the teachers, all of the support in the spiritual world, and all of the support in the physical world that is needed right now. It is all already there and on its way.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm wondering if you get a sense of whether Lindsay and I have shared other lives together before.
Yes. Yes. There feels this, it feels this like familial connection. It feels like two bright lights, like recognizing each other. I do get the sense that we have connected in other lifetimes.
Very good. Yeah, me too. I'm wondering if the higher self has a message for the collective at this time.
The message for the collective is to keep turning towards the light. There are energies of distraction that are trying to interfere with those that are holding the light right now. And just knowing that holding the light is more than enough for your sacred work. There are those that are tasked, those who are called to do battle, to do other tasks that are needed at this time. But those that are called to hold the light are being called to hold the light, to not let their attention move to other ways of being because the world tells them that they need to focus on those ways of being. Your task of holding the light is more than enough, and it is vital to this time.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Is there anything else that needs to be shared today, or are we complete?
Just wanting to express the gratitude for all of the beings and energies and frequencies from both our teams, from both of our higher selves, and from both of our beings, and a deep appreciation to you, Tena, for all that you're doing. Mm.
Mm. Thank you. Yes, deeply, deeply grateful for all of the beings who showed up for us today. We honor you, we love you, and we are grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.